welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit of a show and tell and demo of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit, which is Hourglass's holiday palette for 2015. So there are 6 powders in this palette. I know that this middle one here is actually limited edition, so I'm just going to read the names out for you. So this one over here is Dim Light, this is Iridescent Light, this is Diffused Light, this is Mood Exposure, Luminous Flush, and Luminous Bronze Light. You probably would have heard about this palette already by now because there was a lot of hype. This is definitely the holiday palette that I was most looking forward to and the only one that I think I will purchase. I don't own any of these powders, so I thought this was a really good palette for me to be able to try the different powders, see what they're like, are they actually worth the hype, and actually get a range, because you have the ambient lighting powders as well as a few blushes and the bronzer, which separately, like the bronzer, I think here in Australia it's $60 or $70 and the blushes are about $50, I think. So these definitely aren't powders that I would go out and buy a single of, just because the price per single is too much. Now, here's the thing with this palette. When you work it all out, when you divide it by the amount of ounces of product that you get, you are paying far more per ounce of product for this than one of their standard powders. But the reason why I loved this and really wanted it is because you do have that range. Okay, so what I have here is the Replica Real Techniques blush brush, and it fits. It's the perfect size for setting, and I even used it for the bronzer to bronze around and buff around my face. I also have the e.l.f. blush brush here, which is another great brush, perfect for all different types of makeup application. So your setting powders, your blush and your bronzer again. Perfect. And here is a fan brush, which is actually from my store, but obviously most of you guys will have a fan brush in your collection anyway. Doesn't quite fit, but when you sweep it across, boom baby. Now of course what a lot of people do is they will just sweep all the powders together with a bigger brush. Just sweep it across like that to use all of the powders at once. So onto the demo, the first thing I did was set my concealer with the pale yellow shade in this palette. I'll have the name on the screen. And I just used the Replica Real Techniques brush. Then I went straight into bronzing with the same brush. Took the light bronzer and dusted it around my cheekbones and around my forehead. Then moving on to blush, I took the darker shade of blush and just applied a bit on my cheeks, and you will see how pigmented this is. This isn't a joke, you only need to use a light hand. Again, I used the Replica Real Techniques brush for this, and I had to go and get my sponge just to diffuse it a little bit more and blend it more into my skin because it was just very opaque. It's very pigmented, you guys. And then to highlight the top of my cheekbones and down my nose and on my chin, I used Iridescent Light, which is the limited edition shade, and I love this. It gives the most beautiful sheen to the face. It honestly looks wet, but you haven't had to wet it. It's really beautiful, you guys. So my overall thoughts on this is that I really love it. As I said, this is definitely the type of product for me. I wanted to be able to try all the different powders without buying them separately, and even though the price tag is higher this way, you get the variety. This is available at Mecca Cosmetica that I know of. That's where I bought mine from. In Australia it's $117 with free shipping, and in New Zealand it's $128 with free shipping. This is an amazing gift for somebody. If you go all out for Christmas, or if you have a special somebody out there that you always splash out on, even if it's yourself, you guys, you can buy yourself a gift. So that's all for this video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed listening to what I had to say about this palette and my demo. For those of you who were wanting to buy it, and those of you who are just curious about what it looked like and the size, because that was such a big factor for this product. I mean, people were really going nuts about the size of this. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely day and a lovely weekend, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!